Okay guys, let's learn every single tool Snapseed have to offer. First up, by simple editing you can use stylize. It already have many presets that we can use to just click and ready to go. Lots of presets are pre-made for just this purpose. We are not going to use it because we are going old school now. Hit the toolbar and click on the first button. That is the first option, tune image. In tune image we have lots of options. You can just simply slide up and down to get these options. First up we have brightness. Brightness simply increases the exposure of the image. It darkens it and brightens the whole image. The RGB, three channels, and I'm gonna just put it to the middle. Second one is contrast. What contrast does is dramatically increases the intensity of the blacks and whites. It only affects black and white parts. It actually decreases the saturation of the image. And we have saturation. It simply means how much color your image can hold, or simply put, the RGB value of your image. The next one is ambience. Ambience means the, how can we put it, the crevices have shadows, and crevices means the space between two objects that are close to each other and have contact shadows. The ambience decreases it or increases it. You can just simply play with it. And as for the highlights, it means how much white parts your image can hold. While decreasing, you can see the flower having more details in the white area. As we increases, we lose these image details. For the shadow part, it's pretty much the opposite of highlights. Just increase it and you will decrease the details in darkened parts. By decreasing it, you get the details back. And for the warmth, it means the intensity of heat, as we can say the mood of the image. Increase it and you get the warmer tone, decrease it you get the colder tone. And let's move to the next one. We have details. In details, we if we increase, the whole image gets sharpened. It also increase the cringiness of the image. By decreasing it, you take all the details back. And as for the sharpness, let me put this right here. And for the sharpness, you increases, so the, look at here, this part, I'm decreasing it, so the image is getting less crunchier. If I increase it, the edges becoming more pointier than before. So this what this tool do. Next one is curve adjustment layer, or we can say simply put it curves. Mark 3 points, one here and one here. These are called the three major points of any curves you can make. First, right here, this one holds the details in brighter parts, means highlights. If we increase it, only brighter parts will affect. If you decrease, only brighter will affect. Just put it right there simply. In middle part, if you decrease, the mid-tones that are neither black or neither white but they have a grayish tint in their pixels will will affect. And as per the shadow part, this is what by the way called the shadow parts, only black parts, black part of the image will affect. If you take this slider, it take all the bright parts and try to adjust it accordingly as per this say, vice versa. Next up is white balance. White balance is simply that tool that we use in image tuning in warmth section. It's pretty much the same but with deeper software analysis, I guess. Huh. Next up is crop tool. As per the name suggests, it's cropping the image, nothing but much, and it also gives us the ratio if you want to put it somewhere. This is a square, this is a 10, this is 3.2, and so on and so forth. Next up is rotation. It simply rotates the image and crops it accordingly. If I do it, if I do this, it crops it. I'm going to undo this. Next up, it's perspective. It means you can change the way your image looks and it will automatically adjust the leftover parts. If I do this, then it's that, this, then that. You get the idea. Next up is expand. We have three options. It's first up is smart, then white and black. If I use smart, then Snapseed automatically try to analyze what should be there if the canvas was bigger, like this. It tries to mimic what should be there. It's not precise, but you get the idea. Next up is selection. It or just a selection tool. I am pinching in and out to increase and decrease the range of the effective part. Just slide up and down, left and right to make an effect. If I slide up and down, I get another more options. It will affect only this particular area, only the red parts. And you can also add another points by clicking here and pointing this this okay, and this is the brush tool. Okay, here's the tricky part. If I use dodge and burn tool, it's not doing anything, if you can see, but if I decrease it, then it will show some awesome effects. Here's the before, here's the after, and as per the exposure tool set, it all means the same, like exposing your image. It's 0.7 now, so if I drag this and drag this, it exposing, I mean making the white pixels more whiter than usual. You can also get it to the 0 and make it an eraser and just simply erase it. Next up is temperature. It's the same as the warmth tool says, just erase it. And the next one is saturation. Saturation is a pretty cool tool if you use it correctly. If I decrease the saturation all the way to the 0 and started painting, nothing happens. But if I decrease it or dimmer, then it's taking away the color. Here's the before, here's the after, here's the before, here's the after. You get the idea. Next up is healing brush tool. What healing brush tool does is take the sample. If I mask this one and I just releases it, it take the sample from the adjacent pixels that are not selected and mask it out by giving this. It's cool, right? Just got it. Next up is HDR scripts. I don't really like this filter. It's a filter, does nothing much. We can skip it, and we can skip this as well because no one really uses it. Here's the contrast toning. You can see the highlights are getting contrasty. See the flower part, it really gets contrasty. I mean, getting more details. Midtones, as per the name suggests, look at the wall. It's just taking all the grayish pixel and making it more detailed than usual. Here's the lower one, and as the name suggests, it is making darker pixels more prominent. And that's all. These are the basic tools that you can use to make your image pop. Let me just edit this image real quick so you can see some cool effects. If I just simply by simply playing with the colors we get this effect. Pretty cool, right? And think how much you can play with all of these tools. So the only stopping point for your image is your creativity. So be as creative as possible, and thanks for watching.